Yo, still Bills, what's the deal, man? Yo, I'm fresh off the clockage. I'm about to go get me my daily quarter pounder from McDizzles, and I'm gonna go pick up my kids, and I'm heading to the cribbage, man. But peep game, man, I saw some shit that I want to talk about, man, and cook on for a quick minute, man. You know, the knee jerk reactions. I've talked about the knee jerk reactions before. Michael Benson is putting some shit out there into the universe that is getting a lot of traffic as far as motherfuckers talking about it on these social media sites, man. And it's not always accurate information, but a lot of times it's in the ballpark or whatever it is that's going on within the boxing manosphere, man. So we hearing about Charlo versus Canelo, and then a potential Terrence Crawford bout against Canelo in September. And I'm on the record saying this: if Canelo Alvarez fights Terrence Crawford September 2024, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with him because some shit, like, and it's fucked up because as y'all know, shit, I'm Nebraska bred. You dig? I'm a Omaha native, North Side, 30th and Lincoln Boulevard, born and raised. That is who I am. Grew up down north. This is hometown, so it's no shade at the champ. But the thing is this: there's other wolves to feast on up there at 168 pounds. And I don't think it's right that Bud should be able to skip ahead of everybody in the queue and get a fight with Canelo Alvarez. I think that shit is fucked up. I think that shit is whack. I'm not excited for a Bud and Canelo fight anyway because I just want to know how Bud looks at middleweight. I don't care if it's at junior middleweight, as long as you getting your feet wet anywhere within the middleweight landscape. I bet that. Now, if you can go in there and do what it is that you do with Tim Tszyu, bet that. If you can go in there and do what you do with goddamn Madrimov or Murtazaliev and all of these dudes, I bet that. Cool. But even then, I don't want you to skip ahead of the queue in front of a David Benavidez, because David Benavidez is a nigga who needs to be taken care of. And I know he's more than capable of taking care of him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even if you fight David Benavidez in May of next year, I'm still gonna be aggy about that because it's like this is not what we asking for. It's not what we asking for, Brody. I'm not opposed to anybody losing, and Canelo's already lost twice, so you dig. He loses, it is what it is because he's done it before. So that wouldn't even be a knock against the man, but the you know we have to revamp and recultivate and remold and reshape the minds of these boxing fans today, because in a loss that motherfucker, you feel like they feel like if you man, he lost the ass. That shit is whack. Even though Jaime Munguia is coming off of the best performance in his career, off of a dude who got battered by Canelo in his last fight. You know what I'm saying? So just people's minds are just so warped when it comes to fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just ain't never supposed to go out there and take a L. So I'm not a fan of the fight. I'm just keep shit a stack, Brody. I'm not a fan of that fight if that fight happens. Now, like I said before, people jump to conclusions and they hear shit and they just run with it. They run wild with it. They hear shit, they run wild with it, and oh shit, man, like I'm arguing with people, I'm getting tagged on, on posts on Facebook and everything. Man, how you feel about this shit, man? This shit is where Canelo fighting. He just does not want to fight David Benavidez. All right, bro, yeah, it sounds good. Once again, let's also keep in mind, but Canelo was allegedly supposed to fight Berlanga last year when he was leaving Matchroom. It was Berlanga. It was Jaime Munguia's name was floating around in there. It was a multitude of dudes who we like, yo, where y'all getting this information from? So it was a lot of wild shit going on, man. It was a lot of wild shit. So people hear shit, and instead of going and sifting through the bullshit and seeing that there's any truth beneath the surface, they it's real reactionary. It's real reactionary, and people they hear it and they respond to it, and that's what that is. And it's just like, yo, man, like, who said he's going to fight Bud? And to my knowledge, he said he's not interested in the Bud fight because he's like, I'm not gonna get credit for that. I'm not gonna get credit for that. But it is amazing how it just they've seemed to paint this dude into a corner to where he can do no right. It's a multitude of people. The same people who are saying he's ducking David Benavidez are also the same people who's castigating him for not fighting Bud and saying Bud will beat this nigga. So it's like, damn, everywhere I turn, it's like, God damn, what do y'all expect me to do? Like, heavy is the head that wears the crown, man. That's a real parable right there. It holds true because it's like y'all are ridiculous with the sentiments that y'all come with. I fight Bud instead of Benavidez. Oh man, you ducking Benavidez. I fight Benavidez instead of Bud. Oh man, Bud will beat your ass. I move up to fight all these cats at 168 pounds to go undisputed. You ducking Jamal Charlo. I fight Jamal Charlo. Oh, why you fighting him instead of David Benavidez? Jamal Charlo off for 2 years of inactivity. And it's just, you can't win with niggas, man. You can't win with niggas. You can't. It's just, it's childish, man. It's exhausting, just eventually, it's a treadmill. You got to find a way to keep up. And these niggas just can't keep up with the shit that they put out there. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yo, this shit is stupid. This is goofy. This is goofy. This is goofy. Now, as I stated before, I'm not a fan of the Charlo fight because I never thought Charlo was on Canelo's level. But this is what y'all been asking for the past 3 or 4 years. So you better tell that nigga to get the training. You better tell that nigga to get the training. So late to backtrack now. It is what it is, man. So I understand the Charlo fight, but I don't understand the Terrence Crawford fight because at this point, I don't think, even though Terrence Crawford is off of, his it's a beautiful thing to see my man's name buzzing and he's getting swarmed at the fights and everything, more interviews, more press. All of that shit is dope. It's dope. The most beautiful thing in the world. It's beautiful. But we've been asking for Benavidez, and you're not gonna get bigger than a Benavidez fight on the fucking on a Mexican holiday. It's just not gonna happen. I'm not fighting Bud when you got Benavidez sitting over there, and it's even I'm working with Mexicans who they mention Benavidez by name. They follow the sport, but it's not like they're not they're not laser focused on the sport. You dig? They're not laser focused on the sport, but they know enough to know who David Benavidez is, and they want to see Canelo. They know that him and Canelo's name are locked in key, lock and step right now, and that's the fight that they want to see. So give them that fight. You can't run game on me with Terrence Crawford, bro. You can't do it. I think that's really disingenuous. I think it's really disrespectful to all of the other, not champions because he's the only champion in the division, but the other contenders. You dig? That shouldn't happen. That should not happen. That's absolutely that's a no go if Canelo fights that dude and before David Benavidez. That's a no go for me, bro. I can't stand behind that. I won't stand behind that. I refuse to stand behind that because it just ain't cool. And I'm a Canelo Alvarez supporter. You dig? And you listen, man. That's the champ right there. But I can't go against. I can't go against the grain like that. So we need Terrence versus Tim Tszyu after this Thurman fight, after he eviscerates and cuts up Thurman. We need Bud versus Tim Tszyu, and we need Benavidez versus Canelo in September. I can't stand for a buff. Of course, I ordered a fight. That's the champion, one of my favorite current active. Two of my favorite current fighters who are active right now. You dig? Yeah, of course I'd order the fight, but I'd be mad ordering it. Why the fuck are you? So let's get Maul up out the way. And then let's get but Benavidez in the ring so you can violate that dude. There's no need to prolong this fight. We done enough marinating of this fight. Let's get it over the road. Let's get it over the line, man, and let's do the damn thing, man. And that's pretty much all I got to say about it. I'm not if he fights Bud in September, I gotta cut ties, man. And that's how I'm feeling about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think, yo. Deuces.